Yeah, we had 2 good days of practice, Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday a little bit better. We took a couple days off to kind of heal, which I think we needed physically. And then yesterday was a good day. We'll go a little bit lighter today, and then we got 2 good days to get ready before. Actually, one day Thursday before we head over, and then it'll start be time to prepare. So, three very very good opponents. George Washington is. Probably better than Santa Clara, definitely equal to. I think their Ken Palm rating now is higher. They're a very, very good team. Played their first 2 games without their leading scorer. He missed the whole year last year, and then the first 2 games this year, and is now back a double figure scorer, and he's really, really good. So they're going to be a very, very tough opponent to start, which is good. We'll get to see where we're at there, and then if the work that we put in is paying off, I think it's ugly, but you look at it on Ken Palm, we're 364th out of 365 teams in defensive rebounding. So they're 30th in offensive rebounding. So it's going to be, again, a game where we have to get rebounds. We have to rebound the ball. And if we're able to do that, we'll be right there with an opportunity to win. If we don't, then it won't go in our favor. So we know that. That's what we're working on all week, and we'll be prepared for it. And then we don't look past George Washington. We got to go out there and give them everything we got. But then we do have to turn around and play 2 games the next 2 days. Murray State, a very good team. Probably now after I don't know if they were predicted preseason, but now after the way the season started, I would assume they'll be right there to win the Missouri Valley. They're very good, scoring about 95 a game. So that'll test us defensively. And then Middle Tennessee State got a big game against Michigan tonight. We'll know a little bit more about them, but they're a good team as well. So it's going to be 3 very good tests for us, and we'll get to see where we are.
What is the biggest thing you're seeing rebounding wise?
Man, I think about it testing 24 hours a day. How do we get better? Because that's going to be our one Achilles heel, I believe, defensively. So we got to figure that out. The guys are hitting and boxing out. I thought we tried to box out every time a shot went up against ULL and still gave up 15 offensive rebounds. Maybe you guys can help me out with the whole team rebound stat. I don't know exactly what that is, but for whatever reason, we're being out rebounded by their team against our team 19-7 on the year. So I don't know what that stat is, but we got to figure out how the ball keeps going off of us and not them. And so, you know, I, I'm still trying to figure it out. We work on it every day. We're now doing a thing called rebounding development every day in practice, where we spend 12 minutes on offensive and defensive rebounding. I think we got to just continue to work at it and get stronger at it, and then just we gotta have to have 5 guys in there every time. We can't have one guy relax.
Well, one of the things we mentioned the other day was the fact that you are sending two, sometimes three guys are running at the shooter, and that kind of leaves you outnumbered. Have you thought about that and
Yeah,
changing
sometimes,
that?
and we talked about that, like you asked me that after the game, and that's certainly schematic. The way that we play defense, how we're running people off the line, and then being in the gaps, and at times we'll have 2 guys because we put such an emphasis on making them miss a shot that will cost us a rebound or two, and I can live with that. Like I don't, we're not going to be top 50 in the country in defensive rebounds the way we play. So we have to counter that one with getting our hands on balls and turning teams over. That's the thing that we emphasize, and that certainly are capable of doing. And within our scheme defensively is capable and what we're supposed to do. So some of it's that, but we still got to figure out a way to get loose balls, run down loose balls, and get the defensive rebounds that we're supposed to. Again, I think sometimes we're in position and we're there and just don't get it. We got to get better at doing that.
What are the biggest things you're seeing with George Washington?
Whew, they're good, man. They're good on both ends of the floor. They play fast. They're athletic. They can really shoot the ball, and then they rebound it. Like I said, I think they're top 30, top 50 in both offensive and defensive rebounding, which I think Santa Clara is as well. A lot of similarities there. I think George Washington's guards are better. I don't know if their bigs are really really good. They're different. Their bigs are longer and more athletic, but they're good, man. They're really good.
So, is there anything you mentioned them kind of being like Santa Clara? Is there anything you guys take from that Santa Clara game that you want to do differently against a team like George Washington?
Yeah, we want to rebound the ball. We got to turn them over more. Obviously saying we want to rebound is obvious, and but a lot easier said than done against teams that they go hard to the offensive glass. But where our strengths, we got to play to our strengths. You know, we got to be able to turn them over, and that's going to be a key for us.
So is that kind of your counter? This is just a dumb question. Is that kind of your counter to not being able to rebound the ball as well as want to be more aggressive going for steals
Yeah,
to
I
try and
mean,
turn them over and get them in
that's just kind of
run?
the scheme altogether. You know, we know that through switching, there's going to be mismatches rebounding wise at times. But there's also going to be mismatches on us being able to get deflections and not give them as many angles. Therefore, they have to press a little bit more, trying to get through our wall of defense the way we play it, and then obviously in the press. So yes, within the scheme, that is a counter, but we need to be able to rebound the ball, and the better we rebound, we're going to turn teams over, or you know, we're not going to. Those guys aren't going to be out on the floor. And we'll find some new guys, but defensively, or I'm sorry, with rebounding the ball, the better we rebound it, then obviously the better our defense is going to be, and we've been pretty dang good defensively. We just got to find a way to get a few more rebounds.
You mentioned that Colbert would move into the starting lineup. You thought this week, and is that still the plan? And will that help rebounding?
Yes, he is moving into the starting lineup this week. Giannis can't go to the Caymans, so he will move in, and then theoretically it should. We need it to. Jarrell's got to, you know, continue to get better, continue to get stronger. But this will be a great test for him to see where he's at.
You say he can't go. Is that a visa thing, or
Yes.
How much does that affect you guys?
I mean, he's our best rebounder, so we got to have somebody else take up the slack. He's our probably our most physical kid, so it's going to hurt us to an extent. But we put this roster together and this depth together to be able to overcome things like that from an injury standpoint. You know, this is unfortunate that he won't be able to make it and he's not injured, but it's certainly no excuse.
the rest of it is the rest of the lineup going to look the minutes wise about the same? So
Yeah,
the minutes.
it'll be the minutes will be very similar. You know, obviously we need Jarrell and Paytok to play more than they're going to have to take up the slack for Giannis's minutes, but they've been preparing to do that. We're ready for them to do that, and now's their opportunity.
What about Johnson's play that you've really seen? This, I mean, 97 points in 76 minutes is
I think it's 74,
ridiculous.
Jim, but uh,
74.
it's a great stat.
I don't want to take
You don't
away too
diminish
much.
him, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen anything like
I
that as far as minutes per point?
I have not, and I think they could do a stat where they do all the stats per 40 minutes played. That's an efficiency thing, and he's averaging I think 54 points per 40 minutes played. That's a pretty good number.
Um, Obviously, it is a business trip. Do you have anything, anything for the guys to have
Yeah,
going
I
on?
want them to enjoy the experience. I'm four. I turned 48 years old yesterday. It's my first time going to the Cayman Islands, so I don't know that I will enjoy it as much as I want them to. But it's their first time going. Who knows if they'll ever come back? We will certainly want to give them the opportunity to enjoy it when we get there on Friday and a little bit on Saturday. I believe in the preparation, the leading up. I don't, it is a business trip. We're going over there to win 3 games. I think you can have both. I think that you can, have a good experience with the island part of it and the niceties of that, as well as then go and turn that on Sunday and be ready to play. And that's what we're going to do.
And what's the challenge? Challenge and I guess advantage looking down the road to playing 3 games in a row.
The challenge. I'm sorry. Say that
The
again.
challenge. What's the challenge of playing back to back to back games, and then also what can you take looking ahead towards tournament play?
Yeah, I mean the challenge is that you don't get a whole lot of preparation time for the next two. The challenge is that recovery time in between, especially the way we play and as fast as we play, being able to get them back to the hotel, get them fed, get them rested and recovered to try to get ready to play again 24 hours later. But it's certainly going to tell us where we're at, what we need to improve on, how we need to approach it as we move into tournament time. So it'll be a good test for us.
And then how big is it? Because I've seen a lot lately about these MTEs are focusing more on getting these Power Four teams in there. But to have one with the mid majors, not how big is it to keep things going for
Oh, I think
mid-majors?
it's huge for mid-major basketball. I know, again, we've talked about it before, but all four of these teams are certainly capable of making the NCAA tournament. Wouldn't surprise me if all four are in the NCAA tournament. Certainly capable of winning their league. So I think that with us being able to play each other will help us with our net ratings, KenPom ratings, all the analytic ratings that go into that room to decide seeding. And so I think this is a big week for all of us to try to move up in that.
Some of the guys do have experience. They had 3 games last year against mid majors in the tournament. Do you see that as a benefit? There's not a lot of guys from that group, but these kids have played in these kind of tournaments all the time now.
Certainly, I think DJ and JG give us so much more than just what you see on the stat sheet from that standpoint, from the experience of not only being in games like this, being in tournaments like this, but winning in tournaments like this, winning games, and they know what it takes to win. They know what it takes to win for the week leading up to these games. They know what it takes to win the approach the day of, the pregame meal, and all the above. So having those two guys to be able to lead us into this weekend or this week, it's actually a weird deal that we play Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but leading us into this big week of basketball is huge for us. And I've said that from them coming back alone was just made everything easier for us as a coaching staff to be able to help and implement the things we want because they've been through it all.
Kind of a weird schedule in the fact that this is your last 3 looks before league begins. So how important is it to get the last looks of everybody and kind of get rotations figured out this time?
No, I think it's huge. I think that it gives us an opportunity to see, again, put a lot of analytic numbers on paper to see who plays well with each other. How we do certain things both offensively and defensively with different groups in the game. So that's going to be big for us. So we can certainly use that to prepare for starting league on December 1st.
Do you ever think you'd have the nation's leading scoring team?
I did not. I did not. That was certainly not on my bingo card. But I'm glad to have it for the time being. Robbie's doing a great job along with the rest of the staff offensively, and we'll keep plugging away, see if we can guard somebody. Maybe get a rebound, Jim.